what role does fornication have in narcissistic type relationships? So, fornication, sexual abuse with another person, is a form of violence. It's a form of attack. It's a mutually denigrating position, right? So if you've got high self-esteem, if you've got high morals, and you are now gonna be lowered down, what's the best and quickest, easiest way to do that isn't, disrespectful or whatever, or just plain rude? It's to stimulate fornicative and sexually immoral tones and flirtations and imaginations and fantasies and stuff, and then the self-esteem slowly goes down. They slowly begin to abuse themselves and abuse themselves amongst one another, and that just is part of the mechanism of getting you into this cycle of acceptance and love bombing, and then obviously the discard and the dopamine's up and the roller coaster downs, and then being your only healing for the bad thing that they give you, and so you're freaking stuck to them like a drug. It's all part of that. It's all going into that. So that is the role that fornication plays, as it's one of the greatest fulcrums and key points into getting you into this lower level, lower triangular, self-absorbing, darkness fused, void system, which the world is relatively mostly run by, and that is why it's so obvious that God, like Christ, would like us to stay away from that, because it is just the fulcrum, it is the entry point. And so that's the role that it plays. It's one of the biggest roles, and it can be explored in a myriad of ways of how you have entire societies that are okay with fornication, that don't even know what adultery means, because this helps that lower energy state. It helps the prince of this world, who is the devil, to dominate more and more, and to corrupt more and more, and to have his kingdom rather than God's. And so, yeah, you can have it in families. You can have Christian families full of covert narcissists that support fornication or don't say anything bad about it because they're freaking covert. And I wonder who I'm talking about. And they will push, promote, support fornication because it allows you to be in a reactive state, a lower state with lower self-esteem, where they have more power and control over you, which gives them a sense of identity. And, whatever psychological complexities are there, the point is, there is so much point in remaining pure, into keeping yourself from this stuff. And I think as empaths, as normal human beings that just wish to get along, and don't particularly associate or want anything to do with evil, the situation is, we know that the world is wicked and evil, so we can see the snare of the honey trap, the Venus flytrap, and we can think, well, if I go into that Venus flytrap, it's gonna change, and it's gonna eat a only vegetarian diet. And I think 999 times out of 999.1, it's not the case at all. So we should keep wary, keep on our guard. And there are people that are in transition. Obviously there are. If there are evil people, if there are we'll cut them over here. Oh god, I can't move my hand much. If there are evil people and good people, then there are people that are in transition between going from good to evil and from evil to good. And it's these people in transition that we can really reach, right? And have an effect with. The people that are wholly evil, we can communicate with them for the sake of the people that are in transition, even for the sake of the people that are in the good, for them to observe that sort of interaction, right? And but generally they're not going to be reached. But the people that are in the transition, there's so many of them, so we mustn't be focusing and getting so deep dived into these people that are so wholly bad, and we need to understand the red flags, trust our guts and instincts, and separate ourselves from these people, and discover those that are in transition, those that have an ear to hear. And if we are going to focus our energies on people's, to have it focused on them, or at the very least have them in mind when we're focusing on the bad, right? Very easy to get lost and trapped in the source. Very easy for fornication and all those temptations to be the key bite that can just take you out of the game for a long time, and that's not good. We want to be in the game. So keep wary, keep vigilant. And this is an update on my video on the role of fornication in narcissistic abuse. It's just, the more and more you look at it, the more obvious it is. And yeah, ciao.